Hey there. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you how to use a masterclass for warm lead generation. All right, we're going to dive right in. There's no fancy presentation. Grab your pen, grab a piece of paper, whatever you use to take notes. I'm going to just buzz through this. Okay, so be ready to take notes. And inside this video, I'm going to share with you why it works, options on how to do it, and then actually give you the step-by-step ways to actually implement it. Okay. So, number one, why does it work? What is a masterclass? What does it work? How does it work? Now, let me first go back a little bit and give you a little bit of a definition behind masterclass. Masterclass doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be, it can be a workshop. Some of you may know it as a webinar. Some of you may, know it as a mini training or a full, a training, like a mini course type thing. You can call it whatever you want, but essentially what you are trying to do is bring people to show up and attend a live, you can do it pre-recorded, we'll get into that, a live training on a topic that they are struggling with, okay? And why it works is because it allows you to really showcase your expertise, right? You're on video, you're showcasing your expertise, you're showing people you know what you're talking about, you have an answer to their problems, but more so than just sharing your expertise, it's about getting people to know you as a person, understand your style, how you teach, how you deliver information, how you talk and communicate. It really gives people a much more personalized experience with you, right? Versus downloading a PDF or getting a freebie or watching your social or being on your email list. Like, this is live, interactive, usually in some way. So it really allows you to connect deeper with your audience. And that really is the power in a masterclass, is that it allows for that deeper connection, which builds your know, like, trust factor faster, right? That's the goal, is to get people into your audience. And now the second they've opted into your masterclass, they're opting in because you are promising them a solution to a problem that they're having, right? And now they're experiencing you, they get to know who you are, they know whether or not they vibe with you, and you really can share your expertise in such a different way versus social or anything. Okay, so that's why it works. So number one, always make sure that you have, a defined goal. Like, what are you trying to do with this? And it really should be to solve a problem and also get to know your audience better, right? Get to know your audience on a deeper level. That is really how powerful these are and why they work so well, okay? Because it immediately warms up that audience. They may come in cold to you based on a social post, an email, an ad, or whatever it is. You don't have to use paid ad. It can all be done organically. But they immediately warm up because now they're showing up, they're seeing you, they're asking questions, etc. Okay? So, number two, options. Like, what do you do? What is a masterclass? Okay? There's so many options here. I'm going to give you a few. You can do this inside of a Facebook group, just a live masterclass, okay? With Facebook and doing it live, sometimes the comments and interacting can be a little bit more challenging. You can do it on Zoom, where everybody's face is actually being shown and people can interact, or they can turn their screens on and off, where it's much more interactive. Zoom is a little bit more close knit. People can interact with each other. So there's that option. Obviously on Facebook Live, you have that too, but you don't really know, you're not seeing the people on the other end, right? When you're on Facebook Live, you're relying on them to comment or whatever, but you're not seeing their reactions. There's really not a lot of conversation that can happen. So Zoom, doing it inside of Zoom. Now, granted, there's a lot of webinar softwares out there. You can pay, you can get into all of that, but keep it simple. Keep this simple and keep it in the least expensive way, because again, you're trying to generate warm leads and you're trying to increase your profit margin and increase your revenue. If you're adding on all this expensive software and all these things, you're immediately cutting into your profit margin. So you don't need to do that. Keep it very simple. The length of the masterclass can vary. And I highly suggest that you play around with this. Sometimes it can be 10 to 15 minutes, like a quick little mini training, because it's like one topic, one thing, and you're giving the solution to that and they're moving on. Okay. If you need to teach an entire system or a framework, I was just on a master class that was 90 minutes long, but it was a framework. And so you had to learn each step and she had to teach it and discuss it and answer questions. So again, there are so many options to this. All right. So keep in mind how you want to do it. As far as actually how you implement it, again, Facebook Live works really, really well. Zoom works really well as well, also. Other than that, that's all you really need, those two options. So that's as far as that. You have to decide on the length of it and like, what do you want it to be? Do you want it to be just talking and sharing? Do you need a PowerPoint behind it or some form of slides where they can follow along? Again, not necessary. Some of the best masterclasses I've been on have just been people talking and sharing, maybe, showing their notes or doing a whiteboard. If you want to stand up and use your whiteboard, you can do that. It doesn't have to, if PowerPoint's not your thing, don't do it. Okay. You don't have to do that. And then, the other thing is you can pick a topic. All right. So okay, hold on. Let me regroup. See, this is the beauty of a live. This is just me sharing with you in like my most authentic self. All right. So number one, length, how you're going to execute it. Number one. Number two, the length of it. But number three is pick your topic. One of the things that I see work best for my clients is asking the audience, giving them two options. When you give your audience an open-ended question of what do you want to learn about, they don't usually answer, because the reality is if they knew what they were, if they knew the solution, they wouldn't be asking you to teach it. But if you say, do you want to learn about A or B? They will almost always pick. This is the best way to do it. You can send an email, you can post on social. If you're struggling with what do I teach a masterclass on, you can do that. Or you can go back through, like, look at your past client calls. Like, do you have a common theme where people are consistently asking the same questions? If so, teach a masterclass on that. Scroll through Facebook groups and type in your keyword and see what questions people are asking based on your industry. So maybe it's, if you're a weight loss coach and it's on diet and staying consistent, you could create a masterclass on how to create consistency in your kitchen or something of that sort, right? It's got to be easy. It has to promise them a solution. That's the thing. You're not just teaching something that just because you want to teach it. Like, what is the solution? Right now, this video is showing you how this turns into warm leads. Okay, that's my promise. Using a masterclass to generate warm leads. So by doing that, that's a problem that people keep coming to me with, is how do I create more warm leads? How do I convert better? How do I get these people from my audience to actually like interact and engage with me? Masterclass works really well. Okay, that's what I'm teaching you right now. Now, you do not, as far as another option, you do not have to do this for free. That's an option you can choose. You can choose to make it paid. You can choose to make it free. Both work very well in different scenarios. Again, what is your goal? What does your audience need? What are they most willing to do? I just paid like over $100 for a masterclass because it was something I wanted to learn. I've attended free masterclasses that have been so powerful and so full of information. It's insane. I've also attended masterclasses that were like $17, that quick, easy buy. That is up to you. You don't have to do it for free though. Just because it's a masterclass does not mean it's free, okay? You can do it free, you can do it paid. Think about what you're offering. Just remember, sometimes when people pay for something, they have more skin in the game. And if you're looking at it from a funnel perspective, sometimes it is easier to convert a paid client into a higher paying client versus a freebie client into a paid client. Again, there's data that supports both. You have to do what you feel comfortable with. If you don't enjoy doing things for free, make it paid. Simple as that. If you feel like you're giving like your best knowledge and you want people to pay for it, then make it paid, okay? You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. That's what I'm saying. There's so many options for this. It does not have to be this stuffy webinar, evergreen funnel that you see. It can simply be you showing up on live for free, sharing tons of value. That is a masterclass, okay? So now you've picked your topic. You know that how you're going to execute it on Zoom or Facebook. You know whether or not it's paid or free. Now what, right? Now you have to sell it. So number one, pick your date, okay? Pick your date of when you're going to do it. Number two, give yourself a launch plan. Like give yourself a marketing and promotional period. Don't just decide you're going to do this masterclass tomorrow. Like give yourself, 7 to 10 days is enough. And promote it. Tell people why they need to be there. Again, what is in it for them? What are they going to get out of this? What is the solution to their problem? You need to be promoting it and sharing it, okay? And then, but here's the most important part. You have to have a next step for them, right? In order for this to generate, obviously, if they come to your masterclass, they immediately become a warm lead. But now they're a warm lead. So what's next for them? Don't be afraid to share an offer, okay? Do not be afraid to give them that next step. You can do this in a multitude of different ways. You can tell them, I've been on masterclasses up front where they tell you, at the end, I'm going to give you an offer. If that's going to offend you, hop off now. I'm going to share with you a ton of information. And at the end, I'm going to give you an offer that is going to help you implement what I just shared. If you don't want it, that's fine. You can do it that way. You can wait until the end to give your offer. You can hint to it throughout the masterclass. You can offer a fast action bonus for people who have attended. You can say, hey, if you take me up on this offer, I'm going to give you a percentage off or an extra bonus or something of that sort. Or you can also tell them at the beginning, hey, I've got an offer for you. And if you stay to the end, you will get a special bonus. Like you give them literally the bonus code at the very last minute, so that in order for them to get it, they have to show up. And it could be for people that show up live. It could be, not eligible for replay. Again, so many options. What's most important here is making sure that you have a next step for them. Is the next step even just a free step? Is the next step for them to join your Facebook group? Is the next step for them to sign up for the next masterclass? Is the next step for them to get on a call with you? Is the next step for them to sign up for your group program, to sign up for a one-to-one? What is your next step? Do not leave them hanging, okay? Not everybody's going to take you up on your next step, okay? They're not all going to convert. But now you have a group of warm leads, you have a group of hot leads, and you have a group that converts, right? And those people that convert, it's usually about 1 to 2%, I would say, on average. So don't be like alarmed if huge numbers don't convert. Again, it depends on your offer. It depends on what your next step is. The most important thing is making sure you have that next step. That is how you're going to generate those warm leads, making sure you keep them in your circle. It could simply be, what do you want to learn about next? What is the next masterclass you want? Again, so many options, but the most important thing is getting people there, okay? Getting people into your circle and letting them know you. That's how you take a cold lead to a warm lead. The second they show up for your masterclass, they immediately become a warm lead because they're saying to you, I trust you, I want to learn from you, I want to hear what you have to say, and I am willing to show up and give you my time. Even if it's free, they're paying you with their time. So that immediately makes them a warm lead. Don't leave them hanging. Follow up with them. Have further conversation. DM them. Thank them for showing up. Ask them, hey, do you have any questions? If you do a live Q&A at the end, you can do that, but you can also follow up in the DMs or on email and say, hey, did you have any further questions? Okay? Make sure you're continuing to stay in touch with them. Continue to warm them up. The masterclass is the first step. Converting them and keeping them warm is on you after the fact, okay? So to recap, and I have got a worksheet for you to kind of lay this all out. So if you just snag the worksheet too, if it's a little confusing, but why it works. The goal of it is to really build your know, like, trust factor. Allow people to get to know you beyond the keyboard, beyond your post. Share your knowledge and your expertise and build that community, dive deeper with them, build a deeper connection with your audience, and really showcase your authority. Show up confident, show up ready to serve. Do not show up with the intent to just be there in it for the sale, but know that you're obviously we're not stupid. We sign up for masterclasses with the expectation that there's something coming, okay? Don't leave that there. Okay, options. How are you going to execute it? Where? On Facebook Live, Zoom, whatever webinar software. What date are you going to do it? Is it going to be free or is it paid? What is your topic? And what is your promotional period, right? Do you have a marketing plan? Put together a little marketing plan. And then 3, what is your next step? What is the next step for them? Are you going to offer a fast action bonus? Are you going to offer them a paid offer? Is it another free offer? What is your call to action? And what conversion are you hoping for, right? Make sure you have that next step in play, all right? Make sure you're giving them a solution to a problem that they're having and the next step on how to implement this solution, right? That's what usually the next step is. The next step is usually if you need help implementing it, if you want to implement this faster, such as if you want to implement a masterclass faster, reach out to me. We can set this up in a power hour. My power hour sessions, I only do 4 a month. If you want one, great. If not, fine, right? Give them that, but let them know it's available, right? That's how you use a masterclass. Call it what you want. Workshop, webinar. Webinar is kind of a term that people are over. Mini training, clinic, depending on if your industry, okay? Don't worry about getting too fancy with it. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, all right? I hope this was helpful. Comment, tell me below. Have you done a masterclass? Did it flop? Was it amazing? What questions do you have about using a masterclass for lead generation? Let me know. I'm here to answer them. All right.